Ags handouts. I think almost every single one of their heroes is quite a good Ags candidate. But Storm, scary late game. Oh, what's up?
Oops.
Whoops. I don't think it'll matter.
It shouldn't
Actually,
matter
it does
now.
matter. No, because it affects creeps now. So, like, you could, if you don't think you need your glyph in the first few minutes, you could mess up some guy. I know this is kind of a joke that people were talking about when they saw the patch note, but you can mess with somebody's CS
in the mid lane, yeah.
Or push tower more easily, right? You're like, oh, we don't need it for defending. We'll just try and take like a 3-minute tower. I don't think it's the heroes this game to do it, but it matters more than it used to. Let's say that much.
I agree. I think it shouldn't be a huge deal, but you're right. It could come into play. But LFY, I want to point out, this is an Inflamed Dark Willow. He's starting out with a Null Talisman, and he might get run at here. They have a ward which will scout this out, though, and I think they're also going to spot the fact that that ward was placed. Potentially, I'm not sure. The line of vision that you're getting from this raiding ward is actually not that much. But we'll see. Paparazzi will take a rune. They'll grab one for Afu in the top lane. They'll go back and keep it for the Alchemist, so Paparazzi, no surprises, getting 2 bounty runes and then moving straight to bottom. And he's going to have some help with Fenrir nearby, along with Lanham also walking in. So the aggressive tri-lane for Vici Gaming, and I don't know if LFY are ready for this. Inflame's playing the Dark Willow, so it's actually, he's got a Null Tally, maybe TP's top. I thought maybe he was like an offlane hero, and he still might be, but this is...
I don't know, maybe they picked it, they're like, hey, DDC, do you play Dark Willow? It's like, nah. And then they asked Alpha, like, do you play Dark Willow? Not really. And Inflame puts his hand up, and it does look like he's kind of playing support this game, even though he has the Null Talisman.
Yeah, I've seen supportios go Null Talisman for damage, and it works out a lot of the time. He's taking a lot, though. He's going to have to use his... God, I don't even know a lot of the spells. Shadow Realm. He's teleported to the Shadow Realm. Straight out of Yu-Gi-Oh! Now he's going to get disrupted, but he's still fine.
Null Talisman coming back to bite him. Resolution. Getting a little bit of extra damage.
Got him.
Lots of harassment getting traded back and forth here. It is the Omni Knight versus Sand King 1v1 up top. I have to imagine that this is pretty darn good for the SK.
Yep. Caustic's going to be really nice. Already up to 8 last hits, and you're not wrong. It is great for Afu, who's a great Sand King player, by the way. And he's usually playing in the support role, and now he's getting a lot of room to work with in this top lane. So we'll see what he can accomplish. In the meantime, this aggressive tri-lane, so far only 3 CS for Paparazzi, 5 for the Anti-Mage. A lot of damage being dealt by the Dark Willow.
I appreciate the idea in trying to pressure.
Oh my lord. Ramble made his zonage. He doesn't walk into the next one, but he's able to make it through.
Like, he just snuck through that in the ice shards and the next bramble. Not even done. Inflame's still just plinking away at him.
Yeah, he really is. Plinking is the correct word. They want the rune, too. They're going to make sure this Paparazzi out doesn't get it. And the blink from Mona just through the other one, so... Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, he'll die. It's a 1-for-1 trade. The tower, I think, hit him or something along those lines. Very close fight there.
Everybody is bounty rune crazy this patch. Like... I don't know. Putting them so much closer to the lanes has made everybody just that little bit more eager to completely ditch. And they're like, oh, I'm only going to miss like 1 or 2 CS. I'm sure it's fine. I can go grab this guy.
Uh-oh, Fenrir dark brambled up. He's in trouble. Still able to make it through this time around without any further follow-up. I think the disruption came out will save him. I think, did he try to use the Cursed Crown? No, he had Shadow Realm still. No Cursed Crown up yet. So, all right. Well... This is a good start, I think, for this Radiant team. They got first blood on the Storm Spirit. 10 last hits for him to Ori's 9, but there's a lot of denies going to the puck. I don't know. I feel like this aggressive tri-lane's not really accomplishing much because you have an Alk. It's not really going to help.
Yeah. I appreciate the idea in trying to pressure the Anti-Mage early on, but I don't know if this is quite working out the way that they envisioned it.
Oh, those ice shards. Fenrir can't walk back in. Here comes the snowball underneath. They've got the Unstable Concoction. Disruption baiting it out. He used the Cursed Crown, I think, on a creep. DDC's taking a lot of damage. He's going to get auto attack down, and that'll do more than enough. And Shadow Realm and Bramble Maze not enough there, unfortunately.
That was messy to say the least. Nice play from Fenrir, just chilling under the tower. Yeah, picking up the concoction, maybe a little bit unexpected for DDC there. Not done.
Yeah, Paparazzi in a lot of trouble here. He's got tangos. That's the only regen. Good Fisher block from Lanham, though. And that should do it. I've been calling, by the way, Shadow Realm the wrong ability. I keep saying Cursed Crown, but the Shadow Realm auto attack is important to call. There's going to be the drop down of the Acid Spray. Shadow Realm is available for Inflame if he wants to get out of here. He won't even need to use it for now. DDC, Shadow Poison, Disruption, here we go. They're going to try to find this. Fisher comes out, and at the right time, he gets it off. The snowball will come, Unstable Concoction. 1 second, and he'll stun himself. Illusory Orb coming in, they'll still get the kill. Or rotating over, they maybe get this kill, but Ori just sticks up and survives with the double kill coming out. And somehow, Vici Gaming turned that around and get it done beautifully.
Very nice. Afu with a haste rune here. Eager knows that the phase shift has been used. What are we gonna get? Now the orb also used.
Yeah, this is a problem. Ori doesn't jaunt away. Almost was able to there for a moment, but as soon as he sees the Sand King, it's trouble. Meanwhile, down bottom, they get off the Bramble Maze and Lanham just a couple of auto attacks away. In fact, the Shadow Realm should finish him off. And it will. Easy kill there. Even at level 1, it does 200 max damage if you can stay in the Shadow Realm forever. So, really good stuff coming in from the Dark Willow, who is a support hero, as you can see. And this is a great start for LFY, despite losing 2 heroes in just a couple of seconds ago, in fact.
Yep, pretty much winning all 3 lanes. Alchemist, the only one still among the top 4 net worth, and that's pretty much just because of Greevil's Greed, I think, at this stage. He's going to be going for a Battle Fury build this game, so kind of a more old-school Alch, I suppose. I guess the idea is the same as, you know, a lot of these farming heroes, these big farming position ones that we've been talking about for this patch. And it's also going to be a little bit easier for him to build up. I don't know what his overall build is going to be this game, if he tries to get like a Shadow Blade and go for some pickoffs. I get the feeling that because we see the Battle Fury, you're not going to see a Radiance. So
yeah, I would assume so too. That'd be extraordinarily greedy.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe, I mean, I don't know. Maybe something crazy happens that he gets like 1,000,000 bounty runes and he just gets super farmed, but that's probably not the case. And again, he's missing out on experience too, so he could be up at more levels of whatever ability he wants, but it's just down bottom. They're putting so much emphasis on making sure he secures farm. By the way, Afu is
You're watching Young 11 just punch off.
You'll get out of there eventually, buddy. You don't have Sandstorm. Oh, got the bounty rune.
There you go.
Snagged, baby. But now the Sandstorm comes out. He literally just skilled it up. Meantime, Ori in trouble. Dream Twirl might save him here. He's another Illusory Orb. He's got phase shifted too. Jaunt away. He gets it off in time. Wow. He had to use a lot. Elsewhere, Afu.
Yeah, it's not over yet. He's moving now.
One more auto attack. Now the Purification comes in, and that's more than enough to get the kill. So.
I guess you're gonna get the second bouncer, and it's also Young 11. I don't know.
He's rich, man. Easy.
He's gonna miss like 1, 2 lane creeps. I guess probably 1.
Paparazzi bottom lane. Unstable Concoction about to go. And a good snowball save coming out. And now Paparazzi's gonna stun himself. Disruption just in time, I think. Bramble Maze is dropped, and that's gonna be a dead Paparazzi. Very good initiation, knowing that he was out of position. Or he rotates down, but too little too late. Shadow Realm on cooldown for 10 seconds. I don't think it matters. I don't think Inflame's going to get caught either way. And that'll do it for that fight.
Well, the goal is to try and shut down this anti-mage, but I don't know if that's actually working out as he picks up that kill. It looks like his Battle Fury is still going to be very timely. I guess the question comes back to whether or not the other 1v1s are doing well, and I guess the Storm is doing better than you would hope.
Disruption. Oh, man. Lanham getting juked by the Shadow Realm again. Now Moday's in. No Mana Void is on level 5. Needs to be careful. They still get this kill on Dark Willow. Maybe. Yeah, Bramble Mason won't save him this time. And still get the kill.
Alright. So Alchemist is just switching over to top. Looks like they've decided that this aggro tri-lane is done. And they're just going to be setting up Alch up here. Which doesn't mean that I think the Sand King probably has an easier time against the Alch than he does against the Omni Knight. It'd be a very timely blink for Afu, and I guess we'll just have to see after that what kind of work he can get done.
Right. LFY doing really well with the Sand King. He's getting to his blink. Super is crushing Ori at this point. Now Super's got a haste rune, and you need to be real careful if you're Vici Gaming. And Ori needs some space to work with in order to get back farm. Paparazzi might be dead here. Yeah, I think he's dead. He has no chemical rage. He's almost 6. He has to run. Now the Burrow comes out. Ball lightning and an auto attack. And Unstable Concoction will not be able to save him nearly in time. And that's the second death in a few minutes here for Paparazzi, so that's problematic for sure.
Yep, and look at Super. Not going to be going for a Soul Ring, just straight rushing a Kaya.
Yep.
Interested to see how this works out. I definitely think this item is really good on Storm, especially since they changed the way that mana cost reduction works, that it affects all of the travel time on Ball Lightning, or all of the travel cost on Ball Lightning, not just the initial activation.
Yeah, it's really good. That Arcane Rune's going to help out a lot for the Storm.
Yeah, that one with Miracle Just, oh, hey, look, I basically don't have to spend any mana at all to cast Ball Lightning as far as I want.
That's pretty high. Yeah, Kaya's pretty good in that regard. Dreamcoil comes mid on. I think they were trying to set something up, but that was underneath the enemy tier 1 tower, so I'm not sure. Maybe Ori was getting gone on. I have no idea what happened, but Super will just take his time to finish the top tier 1 tower. There's absolutely nothing they can do. And in the meantime, the AM continues to farm up a Storm. And so far, so good for LFY. It's a 5-6 kill score. No advantage there, but they have a slight lead in money by maybe about 50 gold. So it's actually pretty much even.
But there is an Alchemist on the other side, right? So we always have to bring up the Alchemist argument that if you have an Alchemist, you should probably be ahead.
Way more, yeah.
In terms of net worth.
Yeah, he wants to be the top of the network. He's not even there. Now Super's going to find even more gold. Although Finmer will stick himself up. He will get dropped down. I think he missed the 3rd Shadow Poison. They will turn 1-for-1 because elsewhere they get the AM. Now they're looking for Super, who's out of mana. Young 11 is going off right now in that bottom lane, and I can't watch because I want to see Super if he makes it out or not. He has wand charges. They need another Fisher. They have Enchant Totem. Super, there's Soul Ring. They're going to use it. Now Burrow coming out. The jaunt through. They missed the Waiting Rift onto Super. The Dreamcoil popped. This is troublesome. Epicenter getting channeled. They want Super. They'll find it, but it's going to be a trade. 1-for-1. Afu getting it done with the Epicenter. Now he might go for another play with a Burrow Strike up onto Paparazzi. Good ice shards. They need the Shrine. They'll get there, and that should be more than enough. Chemical Rage is back up at 18 seconds. And finally, the menace that is Super in this Dota game is going to be taken out by VG Gaming.
Yeah, I guess we'll never know what happened with Young 11 down on the bottom side, unfortunately. But picking up some kills, putting on some more pressure for Vici. And with that, the net worth actually going to start looking a lot better for Vici across the board. Young 11 picking up some more farm. Ori catching back up somewhat towards the Storm, only a 600 gold gap at this point, and already 600 gold worth of progress towards his blink after completing the Veil.
All right.
No.
Got it.
All right. Nice.
We figured it out, guys. This is what technology can do for us here.
Detective Mott on the case.
Yeah, I'm really, I like going in deep. I like getting my head into a good case here, and this is actually, we'll wait things out. I think there's probably some lag issues or something along those lines. Who knows? And thankfully, I'm not the only one. It's a good sign, my friend. It's a very good sign. Let me ask you about the Dark Willow. I don't think Inflame has been a part of too much, but given this limited scope and time in the game, how has the Dark Willow impacted you? What do you think about it? What are your general impressions about the hero, or rather, the hero in this game for now?
The level 1 numbers on its abilities seem quite strong. Like I think the Dark Willow was a big reason why the Vici tri-lane kind of failed in the way that it did. I guess they just didn't expect that Dark Willow was going to do as much harassment with just a Null Talisman, and then with only 1 point in Bramble Maze and Shadow Realm really contributed a lot to a lot of the early pressure that they had going on. So I think that's the biggest thing. Of course, part of that is also that Vici probably haven't played against a Dark... One, tri-lane versus tri-lane doesn't happen very much.
Right.
Two, Dark Willow is a completely new hero. So I would hazard a guess that Vici have not played against Dark Willow at all in a tri-lane versus tri-lane scenario, and they got kind of caught by surprise with how good it was in terms of those early levels. And I think she's still gonna scale okay in terms of her impact in this game. So
yeah, I think so too. I'm excited to see what you can do late game, even as a support. We haven't seen Terrorize or Bedlam yet, which are the ultimates available for Dark Willow. People get confused. They're both ultimates. They're just two different ultimates. So, yep. And you can't use both at the same time. It's important to know.
Yeah, you can't use one while the other is active.
Exactly.
Yeah, she does have because she's got 5 active abilities, you do actually need quite a bit of mana regen and whatnot on this hero to keep spamming everything. Mitigate it a little bit because
500 mana at level 4, so that's a little rough, but
yeah, they're relatively long cooldowns, so you're not spamming them a ton. So just beefing up your mana pool is kind of enough. I think you can kind of play like Skywrath Mage probably. Where you're like, okay, I cast all my spells in the fight, then I back off and go and regen. But I guess Bedlam's not going to do much this game, probably. Just support. You're not really going to be running in and doing any damage to anybody. Helps you push waves and secure a little bit more farm. But I guess it's mostly about the Bramble Maze and the Terrorize, and maybe Cursed Crown. But Ichi will probably have some ways to dodge and dispel that this game. You are the living bomb.
Right now we're waiting. I think LFY are asking for 5 minutes. Ooh, I accidentally typed something in, I think. But it says no one here heard me, which is good. Who paused LFY, right? Yeah, they did. Okay, so it sounds like we're just waiting for a couple minutes here. One thing we haven't really talked about, like usually when an AM is in a game, especially a game that I'm casting, I tend to focus on it a lot and keep kind of mentioning it because of how important the hero is. And Monet, he's done a pretty good job, but he's actually pretty low in net worth, all things considered. Maybe that's just because everybody else is high net worth, but it feels like he's still a little ways away. He is actually getting close to his Battle Fury. He's like, I don't know, 2,000 away, something like that, 2,200. So, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I think Monet will probably come online and all of a sudden just start crushing, but we don't know. We'll figure it out here in a bit.
Yeah. At the very least, the Storm and the SK are doing really well, so I think they should be able to make enough space for Anti-Mage to come online. Because you're right, normally when you have an Anti-Mage in a game, it's kind of all about Anti-Mage. If he gets shut down, then you can potentially lose the game before he ever comes online. And if he's having a really good game, then his team just plays around him and wins pretty easily in a lot of situations. But hasn't really been the big story of this game so far. I feel like it's really been the Dark Willow at bottom. You're just gonna Shadow Realm and TP out.
Yeah, nice. Good stuff for him. Do you see this ping, by the way, right here?
Oh,
the Apu one? That's really... I hadn't seen that yet, and that's really strange to witness, but... I wonder if it's going to keep doing that throughout the entire game, because it's just this giant eye blinking right now. On the minimap, anyway.
It stops for me.
Oh, minimap is still going, like, me for crazy. It's, yeah. That's just... I almost want to reconnect. It's not that annoying right now. Oh, it's going away, finally. Alright, good. I thought it was the last forever. I was really concerned there for a moment.
It's pretty cool. It shows that he knows that there's a ward there. And it gives us a little bit of extra information as opposed to just using the conventional ping. And LFY, alright, they want to keep using this SK blink to full effect. They're going to try and find somebody. And they need like a huge zip.
Paparazzi's so close to his Battle Fury. If they could kill him, it would be perfect, but he's already TPing out town towards his bottom stack. So he's going to take this instead. And actually, he has his Battle Fury already.
Bounty rune.
Only he could get the third one across the map. But they're invading his jungle. Smart play from him to get out of dodge. That was a bit sketchy. But this will push in the top tier 2 tower, or rather, push the wave into the top 2 tower. And now they're going to move towards mid and have super look for this tier 1. The glyph will come out. He uses Kaya and a regen rune, which is probably not fair. But
very probably.
You will back up.
Paparazzi trying to clear this stack. Is he going to get it? Got that little bit of extra Battle Fury cleave range that they added. So hoping to clear them out as they path backwards, and looks like you will be able to clean it up.
Yeah, he's actually doing a fair amount of damage for an Alc at this stage in the game. I mean, I guess Battle Fury does give you a fair bit, so good stuff from him. And that is a giant stack cleared, and now he's where he should be in the net worth. When you have an Alchemist in the game, you need to be at least 2 to 3K ahead of the next closest person, and that's exactly where he's at right now. And we'll see if he can't find any more a little bit later into the game.
We got mad stacks for him. He's getting a ton of gold from all of this, clearing all of these creeps. All these creep camps right after each other. Oh, they are looking for this Dark Willow.
Good try.
Get it.
The Shadow Realm TP was very close, but more than enough damage with Ori and Young 11. So, and the Purification came out right at the end of it, able to get the kill. Very nicely done. I like the idea, though, of him just, like, split pushing and then Shadow Realming TP. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty annoying. I mean, Anti-Mage is still just farming. Renee gonna have his B-Fury in a bit, but still, I would say that this is a slow timing for Anti-Mage, this patch.
I would agree.
Right? He's only got 1,700 towards his Demon Edge.
Yeah, he's not even there yet, which is interesting. I mean, we talked about this earlier, and I think the first series we talked about, I think it was Mugi had like a Battle Fury timing of like 12 minutes or something like that, and we were talking, okay, well, it's less money now, but it still is really good to get it early, and it also gives you so much gold in terms of when you can get into the lanes, give you a lot of farm. Meanwhile, he could probably find, or he is only level 1 mana void, so I don't think he can do enough to kill him. In fact, he's just going to blink out. Meanwhile, mid, Echo Slam comes out. Enchant Totem, they're going to find this Dark Willow, and they're going to grab the kill. Even with him being in Shadow Realm, more than enough. But Blink Burrow, Epicenter, Afu, this could be good. Now they're going to jump in with Super Ball Lightning. They're looking for the Earthshaker. He's in trouble. He's going to get dropped down. Young Eleven might be next. Ice Shard's hitting nicely, but they won't chase any further. They're a bit worried for now. Afu can go back in. He's got Repel up in 2 seconds, and that should end it. I don't think they're going to go any further. Okay. I like it. A good trade.
I wonder if this anti-mage's farm is the way that it is because they lost the tier 1 bot so early. It just feels... I can't really figure out exactly why his farm is so middling. It does kind of look like he's spending...
He died. Remember, he died once before. I know it's only once, but he died to the... I think it was Young 11.
I guess it must just be that he's not really getting the premium farm.
Oh, man. Speaking of which, Young 11 in trouble. Terrorize came out. I think it missed completely, actually. Young 11's propelled up. Here comes the Unstable Concoction. Super's a little bit low on mana. He's got Kaya, though. The Bramble Maid's going to try to save him for now, and it will. On the other side, Afu burrows up. Good purification on Defender. Here comes Zori. Dreamcroll only onto 1 for now. They'll take 2 kills. It is going to be both the Dark Willow and the Sand King down. And all of a sudden, as the siren blares by, it's a tier 1 tower taken by Vici. I hope everybody's okay there, Cameron. Hope you guys are all right. Yeah, it's funny. You're good. Easy.
Alright, so they get the building, they're putting on plenty of pressure, still waiting on this anti-mage to do something. Afu has been surprisingly unsuccessful with his blink, I have to say, since he's picked it up.
More punch trying to Young 11, just to make sure he gets our ass. You're right, I don't think it's any fault of Afu, though. I think a lot of it is maybe follow-up. I feel like that good 2-man Burrow Strike. Maybe he could do more, I'm not sure. They're going to find Earthshaker. He actually, if he had a blink, he could survive, but he doesn't. Super will secure the kill. Nicely done.
Just going to be picking up the Orchid up next. Like very helpful for pickoffs this game, but Vici are on
Dreamcroll Sin 2. This is huge. Unstable Concoction. They have the Sentry. The stun will come out. Dreamcroll hits up the Waning Rift as well. Super getting dropped. Not dead yet. Breaks the coil, but of course with the Ball Lightning, he's pretty much invulnerable. Gets out. Oh, the Shadow Poison's not going to be enough. Very close to death. Bramble Maze. They have no ultimate for another 2 seconds. Terrorize is coming out. They'll take a kill into Afu. Now they're trying to turn. There's the Shadow Realm. More poison flying in. Shadow Poison versus Shadow Realm. Who's going to win? Looks like the Dark Willow for now. And a 1-for-1 trade, but again, it's Afu getting dropped, and I think it was the trade for, I believe, the Shadow Demon, or excuse me, the Earthshaker.
Yeah, the Shaker a little bit earlier. Slam back to farming. Looks like his blink is going to take him a while to grab this game, but Vici just kind of running it. Look at the Young 11. He's behind the tower. He's just running down in flames.
What are you going to do, Dark Willow, without your Shadow Realm, huh? Nothing. That's what Young 11 is saying at this point. But so far, the experiment with the hero unsuccessful. But again, they're fighting 4 versus 5. The AM has got his Battle Fury. The big issue, of course, is that this Alchemist is rich. A lot of this AK lead is coming from said Alchemist. This lead should not be nearly as big if it was any other hero, I'm pretty sure. So that's at least something to keep in mind for LFY.
Omni Knight's still more farmed than AM. Actually, Young 11 has 5k gold.
Yeah, he's about to buy Radiance.
What on earth? All right, well, we said Alka wasn't going to get the Radiance, so Omni Knight has sensed an opportunity, and Young 11 is gonna jump on that one. I'm wondering if part of the problem this game for LFY is that they had this role swap because of the Dark Willow pick. It just feels like something is off. If you compare this game to how they played in the previous game, they just seem to be they're getting pressured all the time. Their wards, not necessarily in weird places at all, but it feels like Vici are just making such effortless ganks, and then they're dodging LFY's ganks so effortlessly as well.
It feels like newbie in game, I think it was 2 of that series, last series. Just kind of how they were moving around the map and positioning themselves versus what VGJ were doing. But maybe they can get something going here. They need a jump. They have Orchid now. This is where things might change. Now the Radiance comes out for the Young 11 Omni Knight, though, and that's a bit disconcerting, as we talked about. And Ori has his blink. They have a 10k lead. And sure enough, like you mentioned, Paparazzi is going to be going for the Shadow Blade. And they're going to try to find something with it here, along with Fenrir and Monum lining up and heading down into this top lane.
Young 11.
Yeah, they're going to go. There's the Orchid. Balance comes out in time. The Burrow Strike, he's still pretty tanky. Radiance Burn won't save him this time. No misses, but they're going to wrap in.
Around. This
is a 4 versus 5. Good Fisher. Echo Slam hits onto 1, maybe 2. The Terrorize is about to come out. That's huge. And now Fenrir in trouble. He's going to get dropped down 2 dead. Dreamcoil on the other side of the fight. But Paparazzi's in with him there. They need to be careful. Dark Willow coming out. Still doing a lot of damage. It's a double kill for Super, and they're trying to find more. Although, again, you need to be careful as the Dark Willow. No Shadow Realm for 7. Winninger comes out. It's a double kill for Ori. A dominating spree. A 3-for-2 trade at the end of it. And actually not that bad, all things considered, for LFY. In fact, really good. Now they're going to find maybe a 4th. Orchid comes in, and now Paparazzi with no Chemical Rage. He's going to get Mana Voided. No, he gets dropped down without it, and Super secures the kill. It'll be the Soul Burn that drops him from the Orchid Malevolence itself. And that is going to be a lot of gold. We saw like 1,800 exchange to then another 1,000 after killing the Alchemist. And that is probably the best start to a fight they could have gotten. The fact that Vici fight without all 11 is not that great.
Yeah, and just really nice from the Dark Willow completely destroying the 2 supports as they tried to get that wraparound. Oh, another jump on Young 11, but this time around...
He's got Repel, baby.
He just punches down Super.
Yeah.
That 90 damage talent.
It's really good. Really strong. He also has the 90 gold per minute. The Radiance is kicking in. It's going to help him with farming as well. The AM, though, I mean, we were talking about it. He needed a bit more farm. He's now ahead of Young 11 and working on his Mantis style along with an Aghanim Scepter, which is going to make things a lot harder here for Vici Gaming in terms of taking him down. But they'll have winning Rift of Dreamcoil, so they can still do it.
This has been a lot more like it. Once the second that Monet got his Battle Fury picked up, game started to look a little bit more reasonable for him. He's hitting the item timings pretty nicely. Like you're saying, still a little bit behind the Alk, but to be expected. And I feel like this is still a pretty good anti-mage game, right? Once he gets his items, like you're saying, going to be hard to lock down. There's still some AoE disables, so he does have to be a little bit careful about that, and can't 100% rely on the Spell Shield talent as well, since, like we said, we can get the Ags on the Shadow Demon coming out a little bit later on, but at least looking better than he was in it.
Oh, really? They found him? That's pretty not good. Shadow Realm will keep him up for now, but Shadow Poison should catch him here. They're going to ping him out. They know he's there. Another Shadow Poison will hit. This is a dead Dark Willow. Fisher will hit a Illusory Orb and an Unstable Concoction, not even needed. So Dark Willow gets trapped again. In the meantime, Monet will split push and go for a tier 1 mid. Can they go for the tier 2 top? Will they even try? It's full HP. They're going to rotate back mid. By the way, Roche hasn't been taken this game, which might be something to consider if you're either of these teams.
Yeah, LFY would love it on their Storm, but they are garbage at taking Roshan.
Yeah.
Don't take it very quickly at all. Vici can potentially do it, right? They got the Acid Spray, they got the AC, and
And they go.
There you go.
Young 11 does a lot of damage already. With some help, he does quite a bit. Now Paparazzi, even without Chemical Rage. This is faster than I would have anticipated them doing, and I think probably you as well. This is crazy how fast.
Yeah, this is actually very quick. The right-click damage from the Omni Knight, very, very potent. And LFY just kind of sitting around. Looks like they don't really have a good sense of what's going on. If you switch it over to their vision, they've only got this one kind of random reward sitting over towards mid. So they don't know if there's a gank happening. They're just trying to protect their anti-mage as best they can. And with that, Vici Gaming claim a very easy Aegis on this Alk.
Yeah, for sure. He's got plenty of auto attack damage as well, so if they want to fight, they can try. And his rune up for Young 11 walks through. There's an Observer Ward and a Sentry nearby. Dark Willow is about to get caught. Shadow Realm comes in again. He'll go for the TP. They have Dreamcoil. They'll use it. Now that's down, but they'll still be able to secure it, and he gets dropped. In the meantime, on the other side, Super Ball Lightnings and pushes in this wave towards the Tier 1 tower. It's a lot of gold saved up here for LFY in these towers if they can drop them down, but easier said than done against this Vici lineup. That was a great Ice Shard, actually, from Tusk mid. That was really nice. Anyway.
Vici are being very, very stubborn about giving away these tier 1 towers, and I think it's actually a really good idea. You know, they're not even really willing to trade a tier 1 for a tier 2, since they know that giving the AM and the Storm extra space is going to be bad.
They're going to find poor DDC. Won't use the Shrine, which that's good. If he did that, that would make a pretty big waste. And they'll try to find maybe a tier 2 now for Vici, I would assume.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable play. They do still want to play the lane control game. I guess it depends on whether or not they have enough TPs up to try and defend this bottom. They're going to TP somebody. It's actually just the Shadow Demon, but he'll end up canceling a little bit too quick for Anti-Mage with the backdoor.
Easy tier 1 take. And there, moving into the tier 2, Young 11's going to get hit by the tower once. In the meantime, mid lane, Ori's doing some work. Got to clear out the pre-play as well. And now you've really got to consider backing up if you're LFY, and they're going to do just that. Monet can just take this tier 1 tower, no backdoor protection on it, obviously. Glyph will come out for now, though. And, it's interesting.
Yeah, unfortunately, Anti-Mage can't really commit to the split push at bottom because he just used his TP, and there is the potential threat of Vici going high ground.
Oh, Dream Coil. They need a Waning Rift. They're going to find it. He's going to Manta out of it and blink away. There's the coil break. They need more. And he does blink to the south, and we'll make it out. So the Manta style just in time there to make sure he survives. But Tusk will not as Paparazzi comes in. Just blows him away with his auto attack. Can they find any more? They need some sort of initiation. They need the Surge Shaker. Super jumps all the way back to the tier 2 tower. And Dark Willow is on the run, and he really doesn't want to die again because you've already died 10 times. 10 of your team's 21 kills is not very good. But Young 11's still a ways away from catching up to him. By the way, it's 3,700 gold on this freaking hero. Buy your blink, dude. You can't even buy it. I don't think so. Oh well. Ball Lightning, Paparazzi's going to lose his Aegis potentially. Fish are coming out. Waning Rift comes in. There's the Echo Slam, and Paparazzi baiting a super death, and he's still alive somehow. The Disruption comes out just in time. Good Monet Mana Void, not enough. Now they'll take that Aegis. There's going to be the Demonic Purge. That'll be up under the AM. Bramble Maze is still up for a moment longer. Paparazzi has Chemical Rage. He'll pop it off, and here we go. Another silence coming out of Monet. Getting chased down. Official will hit up. He needs to get saved, and it will come from the Tusk as well. The Snowball keeps him alive just long enough to make it through a TP. They will take the tier 2 tower in the meantime for Vici. And potentially look for more. Epicenter on the back lines. Afu uses it, and I think he just wanted to get away. He couldn't find anybody. Now he's going to get caught. Waning Rift comes out as the Sandstorm hits, but he heads the opposite direction of the Fissure. Another Enchant Totem will fall up, and it's going to be 2 dead on the side of LFY. And in the meantime, Paparazzi and Young 11 going to work on this tier 3. Need to be careful. No Chemical Rage available. They have another attack coming in. Monet's here looking for Young 11. Repel will come out. There's the buyback. Sand King trying to make something happen here. The tier 3 will drop. Now Vici have to back away together as a team. They will do so. I don't think they're going to get caught here. I believe they should make it out. And
I think Afu...
good stuff.
I think Afu wanted to try and get a jump into the backlines of Vici and then have the Storm buy back at the same second and zip in and get 2 kills, but just couldn't quite find a good target. I think probably just didn't have very much vision for Vici as they were pushing forward, since there wasn't anybody still really hanging around on the mid lane. But that's really tough for LFY. Buyback used, pretty messy fight, tier 3 downs. They're going to lose their shrines at this point. Lots of map control about to be lost. Anti-Mage does almost have his Ags, but I don't know if that's going to give him the opportunity to just, stand and man fight. I'm wondering if he should just go for BKB, but that also doesn't feel
a good question.
amazing.
Yeah, he's got to do something. Right now, he's getting pretty far. Well, he's still the top net worth other than Alg. The Anti-Mage. Waning Rift coming in. Dark Willow getting chased down now. TP. Nope. Bramble mazes it up. And Ori doesn't want to chase any further.
Watch out.
Yeah, they don't want to deal with that. They're going to just back. Okay, I mean, 20k lead. Again, a lot of this is coming from that Alchemist. Speaking of which, he's looking for Afu. They don't have detection. They finally... Oh, my God. That was a sick blink coming in. They'll still probably find Tusk, though. His Snowball gets Waning Rifted. And he drops Sword before dying. They'll drop Sentries immediately. Did they get the one on the high ground, maybe? I don't think a lot of... Oh, the Courier will spot it. Easy. Well, then.
150 melee range.
What a classic this has turned out to be for Vici Gaming. 21k lead. Monet has a DD, and that might be... No. It's super unsteady as it bottled up now. And we'll see. We'll see what comes up this DD rune of super jumping in. He hasn't really done much a lot in these past couple of minutes, and they need to find something as Paparazzi's repelled and moving up to the high ground. No reason for them to push too far. Unstable Concoction. Maybe they try to find something now. There's a Sentry, though, and he's just going to stun himself. They've got Purification. He's going to maybe get jumped on. Super Ball Lightning, but with a different direction. Shadow Realm coming out. Now the Orc can fall up on the Alchemist as well. Blink Burrow coming in. They want this kill. Jump in, Dream Coil, counter initiation. The Repel comes out. Plenty of damage. He's got the Chemical Rage to heal up with. And regenerating like crazy. And they're going to drop this Rax on Stable Concoction. The Shadow Realm, he has to BKB at all. Paparazzi doesn't want to have to use it. Rather get stunned as he's up on the high ground now, which should have been dangerous. And there it goes. They can't deal with the BKB at Alchemist. He just destroys the buildings, and they back up. They've checked off the list. Nicely done.
11 still just standing there at the entrance to the base. Not worried at all. Knows that this team has his back with the counter initiation from the Shaker and the Buck. But yeah, they, like you said, they just can't really deal with the Alch at all. Probably come down here, grab the secondary shrine, extend this lead even further. And I'm still feeling like the big problem for LFY is probably that they've got their position 5 player playing 4, they've got their position 4 player playing 3, and they've got their position 3 player playing 5. And it just seems so discombobulated.
Yeah, it's definitely jumbled. Afu has done what he could. Now he's going to get killed. So much for that. Purification, Unstable Concoction, dominating spree for Paparazzi. And it's a bit of a rough game, for sure. I don't know. I don't know what you do.
Like this is an unusually bad game, I think, for Afu. But there is a big difference between playing a hero position 3 and playing position 4. In position 3, a lot of your responsibilities are going to be running around, pushing out lanes, kind of creating pressure on the map to create vision, and that's not really the situation as much for Afu. And a jump on puck down here bottom, but can't really do anything to it.
Meanwhile, they're taking the tier 3 elsewhere. Paparazzi gets Bramble mazed up. He will Shadow Blade. They have sentries drop down. Chemical Rage still going, plus BKB. He's got it back up in 30 seconds. LFY will take down the ward that was up on the high ground, which, of course, the sentry will help with that. So another building. Now they're looking for an Orchid, but they actually just zipped too far behind the storm. And now the Disruption will come in. Terrorize comes out, not in time. Super gets blown away. Good Terrorize, but still not going to help. Demonic Purge coming in. Now Mode's going to get caught. He'll break the link, and he's going to jump right into the base just to stay alive. Lonham, he's ready to go with his Echo Slam. He's got Blink as well. Unstable Concoction stunning up the Alch once more. And Vici Gaming are just backing up for now, just staying together as a squad. There's no reason for them to get caught. Roshan's back up in 3 seconds, and with that, that means you can just go run in there, take Aegis, and cheese, and perhaps just win the game.
Yeah, they've got... I'd like to see a few more wards up from Vici, but even without that, they've still got absolutely crushing map control. I think wards and a gem would really put the final nail in the coffin for LFY.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, item progression is just completely stalled out. Super is not really solo killing anybody in these fights.
No, he wants to be doing a lot more, but it's just so tough, this game. Nah, they're all playing together first and foremost. And he can't really kill the Puck, who's been split pushing. And now they don't even need to go Roche. It looks like they're just going to go... Oh, the Courier might be killed. No, I thought maybe the AM saw it, but he's just going to blink away. But in the meantime, there is backdoor protection for a moment. It is going to regen, so...
Alch's just standing in their base.
He's about to get stunned. It's, what is it, Cursed Crown? Showing
how little he cares by punching the Rex while they're still back.
My God, this is even without the level 25 talent. He's plenty of attack speed. AC Butterfly, pretty good at that, I've heard. Silver Edge too. There's the Puck level 20 talent. You lose your move speed. Another Cursed Crown to come out, but Paparazzi will get repelled, and that's 2 racks. And this game just feels like it's ending here pretty soon. There's not much else LFY can do. Dreamcoil hits into 3, nicely done. Waning Rift still going. Now they'll buy back. Good Burrow Strike coming out. Mana Boy, they want the skill. The Disruption save is there. Afu's going to get dropped, and he is donezo. A triple kill for Paparazzi. DDC is next. Only 2 survivors. It's going to be Monet and Super. And what can they do? Not much. GG is called in Vici Gaming. And they've got a date for a rematch. Newbie versus Vici will be not tomorrow, excuse me. Later on, as CN qualifiers get back into the swing of things. But a very good play from Vici Gaming here in this best of 3 series, Cameron.
Yeah, both Newbie and Vici just looking so great. I'm so hyped for that matchup. But I mean, LFY, I feel like there was some... They played really well game 1. I think game 2 kind of stumbled all over themselves.